Live and rolling. Live and rolling. This will be a very focused live stream. Laser focused gaze. You got that laser focused gaze. There's certain like lines or like terminology or lines, I guess, figures of speech that the fucking you, the script writers they'll like they'll have these phrases that they'll repeat, where it's like this sort of I think it might be a form of mind control. Basically, anything coming from the government is a form of mind control because that's what government means, mind control. But like you can study it and find out some of the little methods they use, and I've heard them say this thing laser focused on several occasions. First time I noticed it was when a bunch of people noticed it. It was right after the fires in Maui, which burned down fucking Lahaina in just like 15 minutes. Basically, the place was just a pile of white ashes. And, there was a lot of talk about it being a directed energy weapon that took the place out, which pretty much is the only explanation for the I could see. I mean, it was pretty blatant. Something else went down there. And the first words out of Biden when he was president during that, or he was pretending to be, whatever he was, his statement towards that whole incident was like, we're laser focused on getting relief to these people. Of all words to choose, of all phraseology to use in a situation where people are already saying, this looks like a directed energy hit, like we got struck by dew, and he comes in with his remark, oh, we're laser focused on helping you people. Great. And he said it in such a way to where it was like, dude, he knows what he's like. The script writers knew to choose that phraseology or whatever to like fucking meddle and to fuck with people, and it's like it's part of the mind control, gaslight you and like fucking. That's not even gaslighting. It's more like fucking. What kind of is? It's just like giving you, it's like the little breadcrumb, it's like playing into the whole like idea without saying so much, without, and it's just like some weak sauce basically. Laser focused. Yeah, I bet you are. Laser focused on helping people. Right. Laser focused on acquiring that fucking piece of land right there, The people didn't want to sell their property to corporate interests, and so look what happens. The whole place gets leveled in a few minutes. And, you know, and wasn't like your typical fire, It just ripped through there and destroyed everything, and fucking people were trying to escape. They didn't have the alarm didn't go off, so nobody had a warning. It was just out of control before anybody even knew it was happening. Once people realized it was time to get the fuck out of there, they tried to leave, and the cops had the exits blocked, so they were stuck. And the fire swept through, killed a bunch of people that were waiting were stuck. And I mean, there was no accountability for anything that happened. It was like the people that were in charge of like emergency response fucking dropped the ball like in such a way to where it was like they didn't do a damn thing, and they fucking the water was turned off that day. There was no alarm, no emergency response, no fucking help from anybody trying to. In fact, they did the opposite of help. They prevented people from being able to escape. This is what happened, and then they came and put a fence around the whole, the whole town the next day or whatever, and are like, okay, now you people who are still alive, you can't come back to your property because we fenced it off. It's too dangerous. We're gonna just say no. We can't come back to your property and see what happened. And fucking so people couldn't come back to their property for months. Lord only knows what they were doing. I mean, it's a certain kind of cleanup you have to do after a directed energy fire. There's certain things that have to be done. It's like when you saw what happened after the 9/11 towers went down. They had to bring in a bunch of dirt and fucking dump all the dirt all over the stuff, and then they had to like scoop all the dirt out and go dispose of the dirt somewhere else, and then bring in another batch of dirt. And there was all kinds of weird shit they were doing to clean up the fucking after the tower after the debris was hauled away. That they were still doing this weird shit when they were doing the cleanup, and there was never any answers to why there was truckloads of dirt coming in and truckloads of dirt coming out, you know, for days on end. That's how they were like. There's certain things you have to do to clean up after a directed energy hit, like because there's certain like, you know, molecular like some chemical process, whatever, some kind of shit that's going on. Is like once it's to something to that degree where they were able to like zap a build. I mean, I don't. That's still just beyond anyone's understanding how that happened really. But the people that were responsible for having done that, they knew how to clean it up. It's like they know what they're fucking with. And it's the same thing with Lahaina and with any other place where these fires come and rip through the place and just destroy everything. You know, while the trees didn't even catch on fire. But like they always fence it off and then prevent any of the people that own property to come back to their property because, you know, the feds just kind of run the show. They're like, you don't really own this property. We burnt your shit down. We're gonna come fucking meddle around here for a little while, and you just have to deal with it. Laser focused on getting this shit cleaned up for you. It's too dangerous for you to come back and like clean up your shit here. It's like basically the deal is like it's too dangerous for you, but not for us. You know, and it's like it doesn't matter what you want because we want this property. They treated it like well, this is our mess. We have to clean up. You know, we made this mess. You can just go wait somewhere and like fucking screw your house and your property. We're gonna clean up our mess, and then we'll decide what you get to do later. You know, oh, looks like you can't build here now. It's too close to the ocean. Looks like you got a bunch of new rules you got to follow, and if you want to still live here, and if you have enough money to build your shit back after the fucking insurance companies are burning everyone, all the fucking like, you know, aid money got fucking handed out to the, you know, rich people that didn't have nothing to do with it. It's just like this big fucking, dude, the people over there got so badly fucked, you know, and they're still getting fucked, you know, nothing's being built back. There is some stuff, but it's not like, dude, people got so screwed over there, and it's just what happens when you fucking, there's like an area that the UN Sustainable Development fucking Satan worshipping fucking scumbags. They want that area. They want to fucking rebuild some other 15-minute city, some tech fucking based shit. Instead of having to go buy all the property and like get everyone to leave, you know, so they, you know, it's a lot of work trying to like get a bunch of people to get rid of, you know, sell their property and leave and get out of the area, and then they have to fucking go and demolish all the stuff that was there, and so they can put the new, you know, infrastructure and whatever, all the structures up that they want to put up. It's a lot of work to buy all those people out and get them out of the way, and then come and tear all their shit down and get all that shit out of the way, and then, you know, then start with your operation. It's like you'd be doing that. The preliminary stages could take fucking years because some people won't want to leave and all this kind of shit. And it's going to be really expensive, time consuming, and, you know, might not even be able to pull it off. But if you want to just bypass that massive roadblock by just burning the fucking place down, turn it into a pile of white ash, people included, you know, preferably, because then you don't got to worry about haggling them for their property. But it's like, you just level the place, turn it into white ash, and fucking put a fence around it and tell everybody to fuck off, and like come in with some bulldozers, push all the white ash out of the way, you're ready to go, you know? It's like that's their formula for areas that they want to fucking redevelop and people are still living there and they don't want to sell their property. Oh, we'll just burn you down, take your shit, hope you die. Nice try, wise guy. Josh Green, he's all, this happened because of climate change. He had the fucking nerve to get up on the world stage and claim that fucking something that he did no investigation on. Like it was like the next day. You know, this happened because of climate change. Well, how do you know? And how the fuck does climate change start a fire and burn a city down in 17 minutes or whatever it was? It's like the fact that you want to get up on the world stage and make a claim about why this fire happened, and it just so plays into your little political fucking narratives. You know, it's like that's indicating to me that you would like to have a story for why this happened, and it's just like you're ready to just tell everybody this is what happened, and like you don't even know. There's no way you could know. But the fact is, you do know, and that's why you're making up a story really quick because you don't want anyone to fucking start scratching their head and wondering, you fucking, and then you just make some fucking half-assed fucking, dude, that story that you made up basically exposed you as being fucking, as being like the person, as being somebody who knows more than what they're letting on. I mean, it's like you make up a story to cover your ass. People are wondering how this happened. Oh, you're going to go in front of the UN. This happened because of climate change. Everyone's, oh, good boy, good Josh Green. You're really you're doing some good work over there in Hawaii. No, it's like fucking the cops were fucking ordered to block the exits. The fucking, it's just like the most diabolical shit went down, and then it just kind of gets swept under the carpet. So much other bullshit's going on that people kind of forget about it. It's just like fucking it happened in California, and not that long ago, the Palisades or whatever. It's the same fucking story. There's no water. All of a sudden, there's a huge fire, and there's no water to fight the fire with. Whoa! I think the reason they eliminate they make sure there's no water when there's fire starts because I have a feeling that the kind of fire that they're burning down these cities with, it's not the kind of fire you can fight with water. Like I think the water might just make it worse, or it wouldn't do anything. I think because it's like, like say when you put you accidentally put something in the microwave, it's got tinfoil in it or something, and it's like an instant firestorm, in the microwave. I mean, does that strike you as being a kind of fire you put out with water? Uh, it's like it's a seriously violent reaction. It's like microwave radiation and metal. That that reaction right there could be weaponized to the extreme. I mean, that's a fucking serious situation right there. And that's the kind of fires we're seeing, where it's like the type of fire that would melt, an engine block, and like there's dead grass right next to the car. It's like it doesn't make sense logically. It's a different kind of fire, and it's not the kind of fire that you can put out with water, in my opinion. And that's why there's never any water where these fires happen all of a sudden. Oh wow, there's a massive fire consuming the entire city, and there's no water. And that happens more than once. You know, that's a pattern. That's a formula. That's a template. They've as part of their like little, you know, whatever. It's part of their operation. We got to make sure there's no water available, so people don't fucking try to put the fire out and then realize it's not a normal fire. It doesn't get put out by water. Water might make it worse for all we know. If it's like if there's like directed energy, I mean, it's like, we know that electricity and water, like basically you don't want to be standing there in the lake when the lightning bolt strikes it, that kind of thing with water. I mean, I don't think water is going to put out these kind of fires. I think you might find that it would make it a lot worse, which is why they have no water available in these places when these fires break out, because they don't want people to see that it's not your average fire. It's not your average fire we're working with here. Nope. It took 15 minutes for the town to burn down. 15 minutes to clear out, and then 15 minutes to put up a fence around it. And now the feds and the FBI, and they're all along for the ride, but just to make sure that no one gets inside. Oh, 15 minutes, boy, it ain't really getting down right down to the nitty gritty. Making way for a 15-minute city. It ain't pretty, was turned off that day. The plumbing was dry, not a drop left, and there was no alarm, no emergency response. It was a perfect storm. The water was turned off that day when the town burned down. 15 minutes in 15 minutes. Oh, 15 minutes. Oh, it ain't pretty getting down right down to the nitty gritty while they're making way. And for a 15-minute city, it ain't pretty. Josh Green, Josh Green, Josh Green. Come clean, Josh Green. You can't go green until you come clean, Josh Green. You dirty little wise guy. This happened 'cause of climate change. You people should have listened. I tried to warn you about the climate change. Now look what happened. Didn't want to sell your land, and didn't want to sell your property to corporate interests. Well, now look what happened. They come take you down, burn you down, hope you die, take your shit. Nice try, wise guy. Josh Green, Josh Green. Josh Green, Josh Green, you dirty little wise guy, Josh Green. This happened 'cause of climate change. Dirty little wise guy. You can't go green until you come clean. Josh Green, Josh Green. Josh Green, Josh Green. You're a dirty little wise guy, Josh Green. A nice try, wise guy. See through your smoke screen, Josh Green. It's so sus, suspect, so sustainable development. It's a UN, a UN, a UN, UN. If it's the UN, UN, then I'm out. Get the picture. If it's the UN, UN, I'm out, I'm out. I get the picture. It's so sustainable. 15 minutes, it ain't pretty getting down right down to the nitty gritty. Making way for 15 minutes, city. It ain't pretty. It ain't pretty. It's like suckling up the nipple of a phony titty. No sustenance. It's so sustainable. So suspect. You are a suspect, Josh Green. Josh Green. You dirty little wise guy, Josh Green. Yeah, fucking joke of an excuse. Blame it on the weather. You're a perfect candidate to be tarred and feathered. Come clean, yeah, right. Josh Green, he's just a dirty little wise guy. Dirty little wise guy. Sometimes people just lend themselves to having songs made about them. Am I British? Nah. I live in California. I'm California-ish. I'm American-ish. I don't really like to call myself any of those things, actually. I was born on Earth. Earth first. I was born on this lovely plane of existence in which we all dwell, in which we've all inherited rightfully our divine inheritance. God said, be fruitful and multiply. He didn't say, don't eat fruit and don't multiply. That was the Lord God. That's what he said. Lord God and God are two different entities, in my opinion. Don't eat the fruit and don't multiply. Wait a minute. That's not what the other message was. Well, don't eat this one fruit. This one. Why? Because you'll die. What is death? How would anybody even know what death was if they were just brand new people made out of mud? How would they even know? Next thing they know, some snake's talking to them. It's just like, it's like being Alice in Wonderland or something. It's like, oh, the snakes are talking, you know, whatever. Got no clothes on all of a sudden, we're naked. What a weird situation to be in. It's like people don't really know what happened. Like, it's kind of a shame, because we're just left in like fucking stories and shit. I mean, how do you really know what's going on? I mean, none of us were the first people here. You can tell there's been people here a long time. Maybe forever. I think there was a time when there wasn't so much water here. Like, I think we have a shit ton of salt water here. It's almost like this place was created more in favor of like marine life than it was anything else. I mean, there's so much salt water here, and I think there was a lot more at one point. Because, I mean, I've talked to people, like, you can find shark teeth as high as like 5,000 feet above sea level in certain places. And, you can blame that on, tectonic plates, or whatever if you want. But, like, you can also find fully intact cities that are perfectly level and, like, until they were built where they sit right now. And they're, like, a couple thousand feet below the surface of the ocean. It's like, how? Nobody built that there under the water. They built that there before the water was there. It didn't slide down into that spot that it's at now because it's perfectly level. I mean, there's plenty of these buried cities under the ocean. They're not cities that slid down into the ocean. That's what they want you to believe, but you can tell that's not what happened. They're still they're still intact. When something slides down into the ocean, it's going to be wrecked. It's going to be fucked up. It's not going to be perfectly level and still intact. My point being that we have evidence that there was a lot more water here, like at least a mile of water high. Like this ocean level could have been at least a mile higher than it is now. And we have evidence that would suggest the ocean level could have been at like maybe even a mile lower than it is right now. That's like a different. That's like a discrepancy of like fucking 2 miles worth of ocean sea level. I mean, that's so much fucking water. We can't even conceive how much water that is. Where did it all come from? Where did it all go? I mean, I kind of think we're still experiencing the Great Flood. They tell you the ocean levels are rising. Well, they always tell you the opposite of what's really going on. It's perhaps the ocean levels are still receding from the Great Flood, and it's like, because look back in earlier maps, you can see California used to be an island on old maps. What the fuck? They have some dumb excuse for that too. Oh, they just wanted to trick people, or something. people that make maps want to trick people, huh? Well, so maybe that's what you think because you make maps that trick people, but I don't know if that's always been a thing. Maybe. Mm. Man, I gotta use the bathroom. I'll be right back. You heat up the soup and then pour it over. Yeah. Oh yeah. Love you. Thank you, baby. Mm. This happened because of climate change. You people should have listened. I tried to warn you about the climate change. Now look what happened. Josh Green, you dirty little wise guy. I think we just gotta make songs about people that suck, and then expose them. It's kind of fun. Just make music about things and expose things, things that need to be exposed or just pointed out, like what a shady dirtbag that guy was. I'm sure there's a lot of people in Maui right now that aren't a big fan of Josh Green. They would probably appreciate my song. Josh Green. I forget that dude's name that was like the police chief, who was also the coroner. You can't have somebody be the police chief and the coroner. That's what we call a conflict of interest. I mean, that's insanity, dude. I can't even believe that was able. That. I mean, it just shows what fucking rampant lawlessness we have going in our country. The police chief was also the coroner. Well, that's convenient for him. So when people die on your watch, you know, you don't have to. You can just make up some story about what happened. It's just up to you to like fucking. Okay, we'll just handle that. You know, I'll just whatever. It's just a little convenient for people that were like calling shots the way he was. He was fucking telling the cops to block the exits. Basically, they got orders to block the way. The people couldn't leave. Not only were they not given an alarm, you know, the alarm system wasn't working, or they opted to not use it. That's what they said. They admitted to like making the choice to not sound the alarm. And somewhere along the line, the officers, the cops that were there present, weren't ordered to go help everybody. They were ordered to block the exits and keep them all fucking stuck in the fire where they ended up burning alive. Nobody got in trouble for that. Nobody was held accountable. I mean, of course, all the citizens, you know, were outraged and tried to raise their concerns at the, you know, meetings and whatever, but like nothing ever came of it. That dude that's the police chief, he was also the police chief in Vegas when they had the, you know, the big fucking, the big event that took place in Vegas, you know, whatever, I forget what it's referred to as being. I don't want to get censored. See, basically, if you get censored talking about certain things, I mean, see, the thing is, they don't censor lies. You're not going to get censored for lying. Never. No, you get censored for telling the truth, because the truth exposes people. And because lies don't expose people. No. If it's a lie, that means it's not true. So it doesn't expose anybody. I mean, you can expose yourself by telling a blatant lie. But, I mean, they don't censor lies, is what I'm saying. You get censored when you say something that's true, that's not, that's basically exposing somebody powerful or some entity or some, you know, someone who has the power to censor you, basically. And so I've tested that theory. You know, it's like I'll say things that are lies that I know are lies, and I'll say they're lies when I'm saying them. But then it's like, but then I'll say things that I know are true. Like, you know, for instance, like during the fake pandemic, when the fucking fake vaccine was ready, that there was all kinds of people on the world stage telling you this thing is safe and effective. That was their mantra. Well, that whole period of time, I was telling people that that's wrong. They're lying, because all it takes is just a quick search. You find out right quick that the fucking ingredients in that vaccine, 50% of the ingredients were undisclosed. They're proprietary, or they were like protected from the emergency, whatever. The point is, half the ingredients in those shots were a mystery. Nobody knows what they are. Not a single person who said they were safe had a clue what the fuck they were even talking about. 50% of the ingredients are still undisclosed. And the 50% that they happen to share with you, the stuff that they did tell you what's in it, it's terrible. Like the fucking lipid nanoparticle. Like if you do your research on this shit, you find out like the stuff that they use for the lipid nanoparticles or whatever, the company, if you find out where that shit comes from, that stuff's not meant for human consumption. It's not meant for use in humans. But yet they wanted to tell you it was safe and effective and inject every man, woman, and child, every single living person on Earth. They insisted everybody get this experimental thing that has to be safe and effective. Not a single person who told you it was safe could have possibly known that it was safe, because they didn't know what the fuck it was. And the stuff that they should have known what it was, the stuff that was disclosed, wasn't safe. It was, in fact, not for human consumption, but somehow when there's an emergency, you can just do all kinds of diabolical shit. And for some reason, I guess, we made these decisions because we were so much pressure. Give me a break. You know what narco-terrorism is? It's when you terrorize an entire population, tell them they're all gonna die, and you have to isolate yourself and not have any human contact for like a year. Cover your face when you go out in public and fucking behave in a total paranoid, delusional manner. You know, disinfecting everything constantly and like just terrorize an entire population, the whole world for fuck's sake. And then with like the only hope, you know, of this ever changing, this new situation and your new normal, the only way this will ever change is if a magical big pharma cure comes along and saves the day. You know, oh yay, the big pharma cure is here. So line up to get your fucking narcotic fucking big pharma concoction, and then you can be free from this terrorizing situation that you've been trapped in. So it's like, you know, and then if you don't do it willingly, we're gonna basically try every coercive tactic known to man, you know, like including like fucking getting you fired from your job and like your livelihood stripped from you, and they tried every approach. And so that's what a terrorist does. They terrorize you, and then the only way out of the terrorizing situation is by doing something that they're, in this case it was like a big pharma concoction, you know. That's, dude, that's narco-terrorism right there. That's that's like the definitive example of what narco-terrorism should be considered. Like that's the perfect example of what that is. Operation Warp Speed, COVID pandemic, that was narco-terrorism because the whole thing was hinged on the fact that this big pharma is going to save the day, you know. You got to just be terrorized for as long as we say until big pharma comes along with an injection for you, you know, and then you can just go get your injection. And they still didn't lift all the mandates and all this stuff. You still weren't. So it's like you not only did you cave into this thing, you know, this coercive nonsense, you know, and then but then after doing so, you still were expected to get more shots, and you still had to wear a mask and isolate yourself and all this shit, test for COVID. And dude, it was such a fucking, it was such diabolical crap. I mean, and it's like nobody talks about it anymore because people are probably embarrassed, you know. And it's like because it just came to people came to realize at a certain point, and you know, there was never a pandemic. The only serious like health concerns that are happening that have happened is just likely the result of this fucking experimental thing that nobody knows what the fuck was in it. You can't say it's safe if you don't know what it is, and people still don't know what it is. So there's no. If you say it's safe, then you're lying because you couldn't know that it's safe because you don't know what it is. Nobody can rightfully say that it's safe. You can't legally make that claim because you don't know what it is. It's that easy. They lied. They told you it was safe. They couldn't know it was safe because they didn't know what it was. That I think that would hold up in court, you know. But nobody's going to be held accountable for any of that shit, all the lies and narco-terrorism they inflicted on us. No, they're going to go pretend to some other guy somewhere else. It has nothing to do with anything we're doing. He's the narco-terrorist. Go drop bombs on a foreign country and fucking yank this guy out of his house and fucking pretend he's a narco-terrorist. Classic projection, you know. I mean, it's like the people that run the show are like they're like fucking insane. It's like these psychopathic schizo fucking loony bin fucking. They're projecting all their negative shit onto the world, like as if people don't see what's really going on. I mean, some people are just so diehard fucking team sport politics. They'll just, if it's red or blue, you know, as long as we're like, as long as our team is in office and we're good, we'll just support whatever they're doing just because it's red or it's blue or it's fucking whatever, dude. It's all fucking bought out, fucking sold out assholes that don't give a fuck about this country. And not that I think countries should be given a fuck about it. I think it should just be like, you know, go away. I don't need a leader. I've never needed a leader. You know, it's like use some guidance here and there, but like we don't need to elect a leader who's going to be representing all of us. I mean, that's kind of a slippery slope, if you ask me. Pretty much, you're always going to be let down. There's always going to be a large percentage of the population that's not happy with what's going on. So, like, has that ever worked out for us? Is my question. Has voting somebody into office ever been like a thing that really worked out well? I mean, no, because you can see that our the trajectory of our government has been consistently moving the opposite direction from humanity. This is how you know that that the system is not in your best interest, because nothing that happens is ever happening in the interest of humanity. You know, it's always going the opposite direction, where there's like less privacy, less rights, less representation, less fucking everything, less resources for you and more for them. It's just a scam, and it's just getting so ugly. And I mean, it's like, well, we can carry on like, fucking leave well enough alone for only for so long. At certain points, it's going to be torches and pitchforks, and these guys are fucking. They're going to jump into their underground bunkers, and then fucking Lord only knows what they're going to do from there. But I think that's good. We can like lock them in there. I mean, we have the upper hand at the point where they retreat into their underground bunkers. There's probably fully like developed cities underneath our feet right now. I mean, I'm sure of it. Highways and big semis driving by, people going about their day. I guess you would call it a day. They probably have like a daytime simulated down there where there's like a fake sun, and who knows. I mean, when you have infinite amount of like money, it's like it's such a good scam. It's like once they realize that everything is for sale, they just came up with this idea like, okay, we'll make this machine that spits out dollar bills, and we'll tell everybody only this machine has the real dollar bills. Nobody else can do it but us. And so they'll all be stuck having to use ours, and we can just print as many of them as we want, and we'll just make people bend over backwards for it, and we can just have as much as we want, and we'll just go buy whatever we want and do whatever we want. We have a limitless money supply, because as long as that machine's spitting out money, we got money. And then from there, it evolved into this thing where it's like, now it's like digital, it's like, now it's all in the cloud, Okay, we'll just write in some numbers on a screen and type it in, like, okay, make it rain. It's coming out of the cloud, You're making it rain. All this digital money is falling out of the cloud. Thank you. Thanks to the gods of money. Everyone's all working, fucking they're working to the bone, working themselves down to the grindstone, grinding down to the work bone, stoning their grind down to the bone stone, grinding their bones in a stone, groaning, bone crushing rock. I don't know. I mean, they're just doing things that aren't really like helping them. They're like working too hard to get nothing in return. Pitchforks and torches, man. Pitchforks and torches. That's the only solution. It seems like a total destruction's the only solution. Checking the real situation. Check it out. Nation pretending to fight against nation. Meanwhile, on the outskirts, on the biggest perimeter known to man that encompasses the entire known world. Meanwhile, all the pretend countries are all holding hands out there, making sure nobody approaches that biggest perimeter, making sure nobody tries to come outside their little circle they've been drawn into, while they're pretending to all have different like countries and wars and stuff. The thing is, all that stuff dissolves overnight when there's a fucking fake pandemic and everybody's marching in lockstep together, doing the same fucking thing, saying the same fucking thing, same agenda worldwide. That's not what happens in a in a situation where it's like there's like a couple hundred different countries all with their own languages and traditions and policies. It wouldn't turn out like that if it was really how we're supposed to believe it is. It's like you have everybody reading off the same script worldwide. I mean, that might have gone over in the past when there wasn't internet for people to like share, stuff that's happening. But now it's like we can see what's happening, and it's like, wow, that's happening worldwide. How you're doing that over there too, and over here too. This isn't natural. Hey. Bingo, he's so indecisive. She would eat tuna nonstop if she could. I can sympathize with it. I like fish too. I could eat fish nonstop myself. Fish and chips. If I only had one food I could choose from for the rest of my life, it'd be fish and chips and coleslaw. I'll be good to go right there. I just want a machine that prints out fish and chips and coleslaw. 3 printed fish and chips. I'll be good to go. I'm just kidding. I don't. Reality knows when I'm kidding. You gotta make reality laugh every once in a while. All right. You can't ignore what's happening anymore. You can't ignore anymore. You can't ignore what's happening anymore. No, you can't ignore anymore. It's so easy to see. You just have to open your eyes. You've been living a life for a long time. It's true, nothing's true that you believe in. It's just an inverted world that's been rendered completely backwards. You gotta flip that flip script and flip it back to where it's legit and you can understand it. Otherwise, you're just gonna be scared into a little corner where you will hide and hope no one sees you. You don't want to stand out for fear of getting caught with your pants down. If you stick your neck out, you feel like your head's gonna get cut off these days, but your fear is gonna be the death of you. It will kill you in the end, and when you no longer can pretend, you won't have a friend. Your fears have manifested something that you just can't address, yeah. And this is the elephant in the room. You can address what your fears have manifested. It's the elephant in the room. It will consume you until there's nothing left. It will kill you in the end if it's going to be you or him, your nemesis that you still have not addressed. can't ignore what's happening anymore. And you can't ignore anymore. You can't ignore what's happening anymore. You can't ignore anymore. If it keeps on raining, levee's gonna break. Keep on raining, levee's gonna break. And when the levee breaks, mama, you got to go. Oh, last night sat on the levee and moaned. Oh, last night sat on the levee and moaned. Well, you got what it takes to make a mountain man leave his home. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, me old levee taught me to weep and moan. Me old levee taught me to weep and moan. And I'm praying when you thought them we got to go, yeah. Now that make you feel bad when you're trying to find a way home. Don't know where to go. And you don't know where to go. Go to Chicago. To make you feel bad when you're trying to find your way home. And you don't know which way to go. Crime won't help you, rain won't do you no good. And crime won't help you, rain won't do you no good. When the levee breaks, mama, you got to go. Then Jimmy Page does some crazy cool leads. uses like a slide, a pedal, slide steel thing on his hand, and he goes like this. Pretend this is like a metal slide, and he goes like this. Why that make you feel bad when you're trying to find a way home? I don't know the lyrics to that. I can't believe I tried to play that song right now. How embarrassing. It's only 3 chords. Crying won't help you, praying won't do you no good. Crying won't help you, praying won't do you no good. Levee gon' break and mama, you got to go. Whoa, 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 yeah. Well, mean old Levee told me to weep and moan. Mean old Levee taught me to weep and moan. That's what it takes to make a mountain man leave his home. Oh, baby. That's the best I can do with my lighter. Win or lose, pass or fail. Ooh. Do you like when women dress up like clowns? No, not really. Do you? I don't think it's very sexy. Are you just referring to like women that just like overdo the makeup and shit like that, painting their faces to the point where it looks kind of clown-like? No, I've never been a big fan of that. It looks lame. Makeup can be done tastefully, but the idea is to not look like a clown. I think is pretty much the goal when it comes to that kind of thing. For most people. Unless you're just a juggalo. What is a juggalo? Well, I don't know, but I'm down with the clown, and I'm down for life, yo. What is a juggalo? He's a drunk bitch. Somebody who starts a fight with his best friend. He's like a fucking lunatic. Somebody who tie a rope to his dick and then jump out a 10-story window. Oh, what is a juggalo? He's like a dead body. Well, he ain't really dead yet, but he's like somebody that you never met before. He'll eat Monopoly and shit out Connect 4. What is a juggalo? He ain't a bitch boy who walked through the hills and beat down a rich boy. Well, those guys are genius with their raps, those ICP. They're so smart and funny. So funny and smart. So fart and smutty. I like their song Magic and Miracles. That's like if you're going to do something funny or watch something funny or just have fun watching something funny, watch the ICP video Magic and Miracles. It's so fucking weird. Insane Clown Posse, Magic and Miracles. You watch that video, you're going to be scratching your head going, what in the fuck am I looking at here? What is this? What the fuck's going on? And I think that might have been the goal of the whole idea, really. Is like, let's just leave people wondering what the fuck just happened. Like even their own, you know, most avid fans or listeners or whatever were left going, what? Because that video kind of made it seem like, okay, the whole thing is a big joke. I mean, after all, they are clowns. Like basically, like if you're if you're taking them seriously, the joke's on you. And that's what people were forced to realize with that video, and I think it's hilarious. It was the great trolling of many, many young men and women, the juggalettes and juggalos, juggalago high, juggle honey ho. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just consider yourself lucky or ignorant to the ICP phenomena. And no, I'm not going to play an ICP song. Fuck no. What is a juggalo? Well, let me think for a minute. Oh, yeah, he gets butt naked and walks through the streets winking. Freaks with the 2-liter stuck in his butt cheeks. What is a juggalo? I don't know. That whole song is like them just clowning on their people. I mean, that's just so rude. Don't those guys care? Violent J and what's it? Shaggy 2 Dope and Violent J, I think is the name of those 2 rappers. If that's what you want to call them. After all the jacks are in their boxes and the clowns have all gone to bed, you can hear happiness staggering on down the street. Footprints dressed in red, and the wind whispers Mary. A broom is drearily sweeping the broken pieces of yesterday's life. Somewhere a queen is weeping, and somewhere a king has no wife. And the wind cries, Mary. The traffic lights say turn blue tomorrow and shine on emptiness down on my bed. The tiny island sags downstream, 'cause the life that lives there is dead. And the wind screams, Mary. Will the wind ever remember all the names it has blown in past, with its crushed old age and its wisdom, and whispers no, this will be the last. And the wind cries Mary. Whatever. The first Jimi Hendrix album is so good. The Are You Experienced album, it's just incredible. I mean, for that shit to just be the first album you drop, I mean, it's like, what? How could something that good? I mean, it's the whole package. It's like, wow. It's three guys. It's all songs nobody, I mean, it's like mostly original shit. I mean, fucking just brilliant. It's incredible. I mean, you could tell that they were like well seasoned musicians before they ever really released. It's like, wow, for the first album, I mean, that's just incredible. And still, every song on that album is like a hit. Still, to this day, they're all still played on the radio. some of them got kind of forgotten about. It's kind of weird because some of them are really good songs that don't get enough play, in my opinion. Like that whole I think it's called "May This Be Love." They don't say that in the lyrics though, but I think it's called "May This Be Love." The song where he's like, waterfalls, nothing can harm me at all. My worries seem so very small with my waterfall. I can see my rainbow calling me through the misty breeze of my waterfall. Waterfall, don't you ever change your ways. Fall with me for a million days, my waterfall. Some people say daydreaming is for all those lazy-minded fools with nothing else to do. Oh, let them laugh at me. So just as long as I got you to see me through, I got nothing to lose, baby, long as I have you. can harm me at all. Oh, my worries seem so very small with my waterfall. Waterfall. Nothing can harm me at all. My worries seem so very small with my waterfall. Waterfall, don't you ever change your ways. Fall with me for a million days, my waterfall. I can see my rainbow calling me through the misty breeze of my waterfall. He goes like, how does he do that? I think that's it. Waterfalls. He didn't name the song Waterfalls, no, he named it May This Be Love. Some people say that daydreaming is for all those lazy-minded fools with nothing else to do. So let them laugh at me. So just as long as I got you to see me through, I got nothing to lose, baby, long as I got you. Waterfall, don't you ever change your ways. Fall with me for a million days, my waterfall. Waterfall, nothing can harm me at all. My worries seem so very small with a waterfall. I can get lost in that song for a while. It's pretty simple and there's not that many lyrics. But I could be sitting here like an hour later still playing that shit and people would be like, but it's just so pretty and nice. You love it. Whoa. It's a nice chord right there. I like that chord. How to incorporate this chord into something. And this is so nice. You know it's nice. It's today's hottest music. We tell you what you like. This is the new hot music that's meant for you. You love today's hottest music. Meet me in the club. It's going down. Anywhere you meet me, guaranteed it's going down. Meet me at the store. It's going down. Meet me at the post office. It's going down. Meet me on the street. It's going down. Guaranteed you and meet me. It's going down. That's today's hottest music, man. Or it was at one point. I remember going, that's today's hottest music, huh? Wow. Okie doke. I kind of like the other one better. That's like today's hottest music was that other song for a while. It was, booty keep bouncing, booty keep bouncing, bouncing everywhere. Booty keep bouncing, booty keep bouncing, bouncing on my head. I don't know, something like that. It's pretty catchy, you know. And just it has like a message that it's unmistakable. It's a message, about booties and boobies bouncing. Who can't relate? I mean, why would you think that wasn't today's hottest music? I mean, what's wrong with you? Booty keeps bouncing, booby keep bouncing everywhere in the club. Booty keep bouncing in the club. We are you, seeing through the facade, the unwavering truth. Glory goes to God, and shame falls on the two-faced clowns and their shameless workarounds. The lengths they go to legitimize what we can see them faking. Here comes the prepackaged solution to the problem that they're making. That's pretty convenient for you who meddles in dark affairs. Put the world through a needless trauma, making everyone feel scared. To corral, coerce, and command every child, woman, and man to willingly take part in the made-for-TV drama. The great unraveling of a loosely knit narrative. The COVID sham. The COVID sham. You need to go in your house and cover your face in shame and don't have any human contact and sterilize everything and get ready for your gene therapy injections. They're going to jump on the vaccine treadmill and just keep coming back, and we'll just keep shooting you up with this stuff, and we don't even know what's in it. It's safe though. Covering your face and sheltering in place all day with the mask gonna make you sick. Sterilizing everything in sight is a neurotic way. It's a neurotic way to live. Sterilizing everything in sight is a neurotic way to live. No way to live. Injecting yourself with gene therapy is a really bad thing to do. It's not good for you. And combined with the fact that you're paranoid as fuck, well, you're fucking doomed. 'Cause all of these things combined, you'll be lucky to stay alive. Sheltering in place and covering your face with the mask all day, gonna make you sick. Gonna get you sick. Sterilizing everything inside is a neurotic way to live. It's no way to live. Injecting yourself with gene therapy is a really bad thing to do. It's not good for you. And combined with the fact that you're paranoid as fuck, you're fucking doomed. All of these things combined, you'll be lucky to stay alive. Sheltering in place and covering your face with the mask all day is gonna make you sick. It's gonna get you sick. See if we could have people singing songs like that. It's a mantra of truth. It's the kind of thing that would get me censored back in the day. I was singing this song. Well, COVID is fucking fake. Let's see. COVID is fucking fake. It's the new punk rock. If you don't believe me, well, get lost when the CDC's trying to kill us all off. And you weaklings are gonna be the first to drop. Well, COVID is fucking fake is the new punk rock. The old punk rock got far too soft, far too soft. Sucking up to the establishment like a pussy ass bitch. Gonna get you your ass kicked. Man, COVID is fucking was like some epiphany I had. I'm like, saying that COVID is fake is like the new punk rock. Because the old punk rock was all like telling people to wear masks and just, whatever, just spewing the fucking propaganda like it was no thing. It's like if you were famous at one point before COVID happened, well, that's when they drew your card. You got to get up there and fucking sell out, pretend scared of the pretend disease, and make everybody get scared. Love you, baby. I don't know why I'm talking about COVID. I think we need to talk about it because now we're allowed to, and it just needs to be spoken. Like there was such a blatant like travesty. Like that they were the people who were like call the shots on that note were let to just carry on with their lives after fucking putting the world through the fucking most diabolical like narco terrorism that I've ever seen. Something that I had no idea that the world. I mean, because I always had a feeling that there wasn't such thing as countries, and it was like there was already a one world government kind of thing. I was already under the impression that's my conspiracy mindset that I have. This is how I think. But then they came along and proved me right with all that shit. I'm like, why would they want to be proving someone like me right? I would think they'd want to try to not to do that, because if what I'm thinking is true, well, there's no such thing as countries. There is. I mean, it's just like, but it's just there for like show. It's not like real. None of this shit's real. I mean, all this shit's all just a bunch of people talking. People have to jump through all these hoops and pretend they got elected and go to school and pretend they got like a degree with all these, they'll read some things and say some things or write some things. And now they got like these people saying, okay, now you got this and you can do this. And it's all just people talking though, the government. It's just people in government costumes. It's like fucking just a bunch of stand-ins. None of it's real. Nobody's doing anything real. I mean, yeah, they are. I mean, they're giving billions of dollars to people, that are like trying to, kill people. I mean, the war business is a pretty good business. I mean, there's always, like, once America came along with their policies, the foreign policies of like, if you don't give us all your stuff, we'll kill you policy, Like, once they came along with that policy, well, it's like the military industrial, I mean, that became such a lucrative business, because like a lot of times people don't want to just give you all their things, and so then it's like they got to get killed, and like we got to go to war with them, and that's going to cost money. We got to buy weapons, and then it's like we're going to do this for freedom. You're murdering people for freedom. People that never did anything to us are going to go drop bombs on them for freedom. Seems kind of like it's a really big lie. It's a bold one too. We're doing this for freedom. I mean, you can't say that anymore. That's not gonna work anymore. I don't think people buy that shit anymore. Venezuela, I mean, like, nobody ever would have guessed that we have, I mean, people could have guessed if they've been paying attention to geopolitics. I mean, it's like America's wanted to take that country down for so long. We tried to have coups and fucking coups after coup after coup. Fucking coup de poo, de poo, poo. They just got so many coups that they've been cooped up for a long time trying to coup their government, and it's like their government like fucking decided to nationalize their precious resources they have, and now they're fucking America's like, you stole from us by not letting us come steal from you. You've stolen from us. You took our things that aren't ours. It's like Trump said, oh, they've been stealing our oil. I'm like thinking, wow, man, that's pretty good. Like, maybe we shouldn't like go to war with them. We should figure out, because they got some good technology. If they've been stealing our oil, slant drilling from all the way over there, that's pretty impressive, man. I'd be more interested in finding out how they did that, and we can like steal their technology or something and go slant drill across the Atlantic and shit. I mean, because if they got the ability to steal our oil from all the way over there in Venezuela, that's some technology we want to know about. I mean, I don't think we should go bomb them. We should just go figure out how they're doing that. It's like slant drilling. How many miles away? I mean, that's crazy. That's some technology. It's probably like some of the best technology there is. You can just steal everybody's oil that way. I'm kidding, obviously. I know that's just not what they did. But when someone says this country stole our oil, well, the only way you can make any sense of that is like if they somehow managed to come slant drill into our country or like trick us or something and come managed to take our oil out from underneath us without us, you know, wanting them to, and they stole our oil. They somehow managed to get it out of our country without us, you know, stopping them. So, but then that's not what he meant. He meant they nationalized the oil in their country. They made it to where like it's their oil now. And so that's considered stealing our oil. That's what Trump considers stealing our oil, is by somebody wanting to keep their own oil. Well, we built the infrastructure to take the oil. We're right. Okay. Well, so what? I mean, on the premise that they would never own their own stuff ever again, and that's what the deal was. I don't think anybody would sign off on that deal. That doesn't sound like a very good deal. I mean, I take it you weren't doing it to help them out much, were you? If you think it's stealing from us to fucking keep your own shit. I mean, it's just like the hubris, or just like the just the sheer, just the nerve, the audacity. It's like Trump, he's always just been like surrounded by yes men and people praising him, and it's like, well, I mean, granted, he did get a severe hazing in his first semester. It's like the whole media was going so hard on him. Like I almost started liking him for a second. I'm like, man, I hate what the media does, just as a rule of thumb. And like, so anything they're saying, I'm like automatically like against, just by, just for good measure, And then when they're saying Trump's a fucking piece of shit over and over, and at the time, that was pre-COVID. Like I was just like, well, what is he doing? It's causing such an uproar, Like he's saying stupid things or on tweets or something that would cause people to like, fucking just spew random hate shit for like hours on end. I was like, so what? Just let it go, dude. Why is everybody so butthurt, And it's because they didn't like his personality. I don't like it either, but like I wouldn't let it weigh me down like that to where I'm like ranting about it every day. Or I'd at least try to make some jokes about it so I can laugh instead of being all mad. But like I said, they almost got me to like him, because I was like, wow, they really hate him, and they're just being like unreasonably angry towards him all the time, and he's not even really doing anything that should warrant that kind of attitude. And like, but then COVID happened, and he locked down the country, and began his whole narco terrorism fucking operation, his campaign of terrorizing the country until their big pharma came along to save the day in their Operation Warp Speed. That's when I realized, well, all the shit talking wasn't in vain. It was actually well deserved. And this time around, he got in office. Now I'm thoroughly like not amused by this guy and his fake assassination attempt and his fucking fake ass everything he says. And so like, people all of a sudden now are just like tolerating him. The media is like, do. You know what the thing is? They figured out like, hating on Trump never really, like, we didn't get anywhere with him. He just kept doing everything, that we hate, and we just kept being alive, and it didn't work. So now what we're going to do is we're going to kiss his butt. And it turns out if you kiss his butt, he'll do what you want him to do. So you just have to kiss his butt. Trump, you're the king. You're so handsome, and you're so sexy, and we love you. You're so great, and you're so smart, and you're making everything so great. Do you mind if we go bomb Venezuela really quick? Or like, hey, Trump, you're so awesome. Can we have another couple $1 billion to continue our genocide operation? Ah, oh, thanks. You're so handsome. Did I tell you look good in that tie? And then he just kicks down and just signs the thing, and because he's just like all like, oh, he's just beside himself. He's so flattered, and he loves the flattering. Like Trump won't hang out with you unless you let him be king. Like when little kids, when you'd play, like, can so and so come out and play? It's like, can Trump come out and play? And only if you let him be king. Oh yeah, we know how it is. We'll let him be king. So it's like, when he's an older guy now, and he's hanging out with all these known pedophiles and shit, and he's like a sex trafficking ring, the scandal. Like, are we to think that he was hanging out with people, and like somehow his whole demeanor had changed? Like, no, because I mean that's how he is clearly. So it's like he's hanging out with all these pedophiles in the sex trafficking ring. I guarantee you, he was the king of that. They let him be king. He wanted to be. I'm the king because all you guys are. It's like, this is what you're doing. Well, I want to do it. I want to be the king. He wanted to be the king of that ring. And so he's the king of the ring. guarantee you he's the kingpin, because he wouldn't have hung out with those people unless those people let him be the king. That's seriously, and that's why he kicked fucking Epstein out of his Mar-a-Lago, because he said it out loud. He's all, because he was poaching my workers, my women. It's like, oh, that's kind of weird. And it's like, isn't that kind of what we're talking about here? Like, weird. So he's just so brazen about it, and he just openly like displays his decadence, on a level that's just like, you know, whatever. But like, I'm not gonna become the thing that I hate the most by whining about it. I'm just gonna say, what do you expect from a lame duck named Donald? What do you expect from a lame duck named Donald? I need like a little drummer guy that just kicks back until whenever my punchline comes along. That's what I need. That's what I need. My show would be a lot better with that. Anybody want to play drums for me? Laser focused gaze. There's certain like phraseology that you'll hear repeated in the fucking mainstream like narratives. The script writers, they'll get a certain, because they're just just people, in script writer costumes. And so they're going to write scripts and they're going to use the same phraseology over and over because I think there's a lot of like work that's put into it where there's like psychologists that are they're like busy studying how to control people's minds, to the fullest efficiency. And so there'll be certain, catch like phrases they'll use that's sort of like a, like when you're hypnotizing somebody, there's like a certain phrase or certain thing that sets the whole thing into motion. It's like trauma-based mind control, whatever you want to call it. It's like when Biden, after the whole fucking Lahaina fire burned him down in like 17 minutes, the city was leveled white ash, and people were like, "This was a directed energy weapon." There was evidence of it. It was like a big line right through the middle of the ceiling. It's like there was people were saying there was like a lasers. I mean, this shit was not a normal fire. Biden comes out the next day, fucking sleepy Biden was shitting himself and stuff, and he's like, and he has the wherewithal to come up with this statement. Well, we're laser focused on helping those people. That's basically what all he said. It's like, what? These people feel like they were attacked by lasers, and you're going to come out and say that? Oh man. Ugh. And did they help? No. They didn't do shit. Those people got fucked. I mean, the people that survived. But like, and I've heard that phrase repeated more than once, and it's laser focused. It's one of the, like, listen for that when you're listening to the script, that gets spewed out of the fucking, the fucking mind control box, the screen. Behind the screen, they're writing these scripts. There's other words that I've heard before, like little trigger words, or like words that I'm sure of it. I'm sure they're using them in a way that's covert. Because it would be like words that they reuse, like, listen for the word robust. Whenever you hear robust, there's some kind of hypnotism going on. And this is the most robust policy, or whatever. It's kind of the safe and effective mantra, It's like, it's safe and effective. It's fake and deceptive. It's Satan infected. It's fake and deceptive. Did you say fake and deceptive? I said safe and effective. There's certain phraseology. I like that word. Is that a word? Phraseology? It is now. You see, you have to learn the phraseology. you have to learn reverse psychology, really, if you want to make heads or tails or fucking, whatever, tails or make ends or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Heads or tails of this shit, because it's all backwards and inverted and upside down and perverted and fucking reworded and skirted around and trying to make everything the opposite of what it really is. It's true. None of it's true. It's all fucking lies. And so you have to know that. Or you can come to the Dr. Bass Ackwards Reverse Psychologist channel, and I'll tell you that it's all bullshit. Auto hoax all the way. You can't believe anything they say. And they know that they're fake and gay. So they're just going to come at you with some truth every once in a while. But they can't tell the truth just unmanipulated. They're gonna fucking come at you with some like edge to where they're gonna fucking, they might tell you the truth. Oh, the climate change, but they're not gonna mention it. It was them that changed it with their fucking spraying the sky with metal particulates for 20 years. They forgot to mention that part. The climate change. This happened because of climate change. You people should have listened. I tried to warn you about the climate change. Now look what happened. You want to sell your land? Well, they come burn you down, take you down, hope you die, steal your stuff. Nice try, wise guy. Josh Green. These guys just fade into obscurity, they create the biggest scandals, and it's just blatant fucking just atrocities, this tragic loss of life and just unbelievable circumstances, and then they just kind of fade into obscurity. Nobody ever talks about Josh Green ever again, or Fauci. I mean, they just disappear, Oh, that's cool. Biden, No, it's just like one fucking outrageous blunder after another, and these guys just fail themselves all the way to the top, shamelessly, no apologies, no remorse, no accountability. It just doesn't happen. And people just keep sucking it up and moving on to the next clown show, and it never gets any better. It's always working in the complete opposite direction of humanity. Well, we're not going to get a win like at this rate. People should understand that the system we have working here is working us into the ground, and we're going to be like, it's like they're paving the road to hell with bad intentions, and they want us to go to hell, and they don't fucking give a fuck. There's no empathy, there's no humanity. So the more we vote, the more it happens. So I propose that we don't vote, or we could all vote for ourselves. If everybody voted for themselves, I think that'd be a good message, because then it would be a tie. The vote would be a tie. And the thing is, none of the politicians would get any votes, because they'd be busy. Well, whatever. They'd probably vote for themselves too. But the point being, there wouldn't be any winner, because everybody voted for themselves. It would be a tie. And so therefore, and if it kept happening, they would just have to say, okay, everybody in the country is president. And that's how it should be. We should all be treated like our own country. I'm my own country, I have my own policies, and we just figure it out from there. It's not anarchy, it's allarchy. Allarchy, not oligarchy. There doesn't have to be any archy going on. It could just be like, why don't we just do what we're already doing, minus all these fucking corrupt pieces of shit, dirtbag fucking pedophiles trying to tell us what the fuck's going on. The last people we should be listening to, obviously. You think? I mean, and it wouldn't hurt to have, like, for them to get some accountability, I mean, it's like, here's the thing. If you're going to redact all the names, who's doing the redacting now? Because that person now, we know that they saw the names before they redacted them, so they have all this crucial, pertinent information that the fucking entire country wants. And so it's like, why don't we find the person that did the redacting, and then we'll put them in prison, and it's be like, okay, you're gonna go away now. You're gonna suffer the fate of whoever you redacted. Now you're the person that did all these horrible crimes because you redacted the names of the people. You're an accessory, and you're keeping information from us you're preventing, justice from being served. And so you're just going to sit in jail until you start coughing up those names. And they'd cough them up right away because they don't really feel loyal to these people. Once their fucking freedom is stripped from them, they'll cough up those names right away, and then we'll get all the names. We'll take that person out of jail and just be like, don't ever do that again. And, and we'll just, whatever. We'll duct tape all those guys to the child pedophile. We'll duct tape them to the fucking chair they're sitting in. And then, we'll do a lot of things. I mean, there's a lot of ideas. There's a lot of things we could come up with, I mean, and this is not an empty threat. I mean, this is a plan. I'm making a plan. And so just putting it out there. I think we should get a lot of duct tape, get ready with a lot of duct tape, and maybe a lot of those IVs that are on wheels, you can wheel them around. Get a lot of those ready. Just give them a taste of their own medicine, basically, Am I right? No, that's true. It probably wouldn't really end it. I mean, that's the thing. It's money. It's like I don't know. These people they just keep getting away with it because they have the money machine, the machine that spits money out. It sucks because people are desperate, and so that's they make people desperate, and they have the money machine. They're like, okay, you're just gonna go ahead and redact all this information, and we're gonna turn the money machine on here for you real quick, and then you're just gonna shut up and never say anything. So the people with the money machines and you know and the audacity to say that nobody else's money machine is going to be as legit as this money machine. In fact, if you make your own money machine, you're going to prison for trying to copy our idea of having a money machine. Only our money machine is the one that has money that's worth money. Anybody else's is fake, and you're going to go to prison for trying to pretend you're us. I mean, just the audacity, really. I don't know where these people get off. They don't. I mean, it's like they just, well, they do. That's all they do. They just get off. And it's not fair. And that's the way the cookie crumbles. Life isn't fair. That's the way life crumbles. And cookies aren't fair. Cookies aren't fair. All right, I'm going to play a song and stop saying a bunch of dumb shit. The thing is, like when I put my foot in my mouth, I just end up putting my whole leg down there. So if you ever see me walking around with my leg in my mouth, be like, dude, how are you gonna like sing a song with your leg in your mouth like that? It's a bad look. It's a bad look, man. After years, years and years and years of what appears to be research, dirty work, digging in the earth, reworking things for what it's worth, it seems. We found out that there's nothing to find out. The fact is, we don't know the facts. The fact is, we don't know the facts, even though we've been acting like we do for so long now. It's just hard to backpedal with your foot in your mouth. Pretty much the only thing you can say for sure that is true is that eventually time catches up with you. Time catches up with you. Time catches up with you. You're young now, but soon you will be 52. Time catches up, it doesn't stop. It's like a watch, it ticks, it doesn't talk. You got to keep your eye on the clock. It is what it is unless it isn't. Then it ain't. But don't faint from being so stressed. I guess you're gonna take some time off your feet. Well, you better not miss a beat, 'cause forward is the only way through. And time is catching up with you. Here it comes. Time catches up with you. Time catches up with you. Time catches up, don't you know? Time catches up with you. Time catches up with you. Time catches up. Look, there it goes. These days everything's been redone, rerun, rehashed, revamped, thrown back in your face to see if it can fly again, but it can't, so they'll just try again some other time. Didn't make enough cash on the flip, that's why they got to keep it going back to it. It's like some kind of one-hit wonder that never really hit, it just gets overplayed. Fuck. I'd rather see some people try to think, try to speak, try to do something new. Think, try to speak, try to reach, try to do something new. I think, speak, try to reach, try to do something original. I have to think, speak, reach, try to do something new. Think, speak, reach, teach, believe in something true. I think, speak, reach, teach, and do something new. Think, speak, reach, teach, believe in something true. Think, speak, reach, teach, preach, don't preach, just do. Cause time is catching up with you, time catching up with you, time catching up with you. You're young now, but soon you will be 52. Time catches up, it doesn't stop. Like a watch, it ticks, it doesn't talk. You got to keep your eye on the clock. After years, years and years and years of what appeared to be a research, dirty work, and digging in the earth, reworking things for what it's worth. It seems we found out that there's nothing to find out. The fact is, we don't know the facts. The fact is, we don't know the facts. That's why we waxed car before it crashed. We're gonna tax your check before it cashed. Wax your ass before you hatch it. Whatever. I don't know, man. Just do the math. It's like 2 plus 2. Anyone knows that time catching up with you. It doesn't really matter now which way you go. It will be there down every road. It doesn't really matter now which way you stare. Wherever you look, you're gonna find it there. Time is just an idea. Time is just a... well, it's all there is time. Nothing but time. Time makes things have meaning and purpose. And that's all there really needs to be is time to make this reality a thing that's not just a state of mind. Time, we're on a timeline. How long have we been on this timeline? I don't know. We can trace our timeline all the way back to 0. But then it just keeps going in negative numbers. It's kind of weird. So you mean to tell me there was a time period, not that long ago when our society kept track of time in reverse? Counting down to 0? That must have been interesting. In the era of BC, we kept track of time in reverse. It was weird once we started counting forward. It just felt so strange. Next year is going to be the year 0. It's going to be so exciting. Something's going to happen. I just feel it coming. The year 0. I've been from here to 0. I don't really believe it exists. I insist that there's no such thing as nothing, but all the same, I guess it's logical to claim like this that 2026 years ago we were living in the year 0, which was the year that we were waiting for so long, as we counted backwards in a long line of negative numbers. Yes. In the era of BC, we kept track of time in reverse. It was such a curse. We didn't know how long ago that we had started. We just knew that we'd end up at 0 eventually. And after a long wait, it felt great to be living in the year 0. In the year 0, you see, we don't know what history really shows, 'cause it's always being superimposed on the present. And now we won't ever learn our lessons, 'cause we can't go back find out how we get here. But it's all those things that have occurred that led us to be where we are right now. And I just don't know how there could ever be a year zero. I just can't wrap my mind